Have you guys seen the hashtag doorway spell? Well, here is my version. So I started out by cleansing and then calling all of the corners, elements, everything, making a circle. So next here I have like all the things that I use, some string, tape. So this right here is yarn that I charged in the solar eclipse. A lot of people don't like to work with stuff like this, but I kind of really wanted it to use it because it's going to be very protective for me. So next then I have these emu feathers that I found when I was at a breast cancer retreat. A lot of fun. And then here I have some moon water. And then this is actually aged whiskey that I charged in the full moon as well. And the reason I wanted to use this, I'll explain in just a few minutes. So the idea I started out with was to make a feather. That is not the way that inspiration hit once I started. So here's what I did with the whiskey. I dumped it into this little offering cup, and I wanted this to be so protective, and I wanted this to also be an offering to my house as well, to keep the house protected. So I oftentimes put whiskey out for them, the house spirits and such. So by soaking the strings in the whiskey, it is essentially doing the same exact thing. It's almost like an offering. So that's what I did there. I soaked the main strings with whiskey, and then I took string, wrapped it around my hand, cut it in half to make the other strings. So then I took the moon water that I had and just took the string. I did tie it together so that way it was a lot easier to work with. And then I soaked it in the moon water. And again, just kind of wring it out. Now you can set this up and let it dry off a little bit because you're going to want to like figure out a way to tape it to the table. I tried taping this. It did not work for me either times. So I just kind of like evened it out a little bit, and then I tied a knot in it. So you can also take this time to put in a spell within this knot, doing a little knot magic, as you will. You can go towards you, you can go away. Whatever you want this charm to be. And then we're just going to knot it up like this so that we have something to hang it from. Really nice and tight. Okay, so then you can see I started tying the strings all the way down. I tried taping it and it didn't work. And then I took an acorn. This is, for some reason, I was just called to use this acorn for some reason. So it's what I did. And this is where I was saying it kind of went from a feather to something completely different. Because inspiration just kind of took and I ran with it. And the acorns are very protective anyway. So I was really okay with just following my gut and working with that oak spirit, which is very protective anyway. So I just put a hole in the top of it and then made like a little hat. And then this is where I was like, oh my gosh, it would be so cute as a little fairy, right? So that's what we did. We kind of made it into a little fairy. So you can see I braided a couple on the top, and then I added some rosemary to make a new skirt. And then some arms. You know, we tied the arms off, just kind of like we're making a puppet. wrapping the body. Again, I used that Eclipse string. And then I did use a little bit of hot glue on the back to attach the wings of for the emu feathers. And the emu feathers really have a strong representation, and they also help with like spiritual growth and things like that. So I really wanted to put those in there. And I thought, why not make a little fairy? It just kind of started coming to me. I had planned on making a feather, and this is just what happened. And sometimes you go with what you feel is right in the moment, and that's kind of what crafting is all about. You do with what feels right. So I was just kind of like putting some finishing touches on it here. And then a quick cleanse of the front door area. I did crack the door also, by the way, but it's not shown. And then I just hung it. I gave her a little ponytail off to the side. It's a little crazy, but I think she's cute. Huge shout out to Olivia, the Witch of Wonderlust, for this challenge. And don't forget, #doorway spell. Blessed be everyone.